If meditation feels impossible, then it's not that you're just bad at meditation. That's not a thing. It might be that how you're approaching it is not what your nervous system needs, or not where your nervous system is at. In this video, I'm going to take you through 5 different things that can help you to make it easier and more effective to meditate for you. First, we're going to talk a little bit about why we struggle to meditate, and then we'll get into the steps. So this was sparked, this whole idea, by a client of mine who, when he would go to meditate, he would feel worse afterwards and feel heavy, disconnected from his body, dysregulated, like there's sort of heavy energies in the body, just the mind is getting busier and busier, starting to feel shame at how he's not able to meditate. And I suggested to him that what was happening was that he was starting to dissociate slightly, just a little bit, which is, when your mind starts to disconnect from your body to help you to feel safe, to protect you. Because we carry so much in our body, so many emotional wounds, so many tensions, often very invisible, that when we just bluntly put our attention in the body and just try and sit there for a long period of time, it's just really painful. And the mind, it's a bit too much without any extra support or training or practice. Just going straight in there and just sitting with it is not helpful, and it's dangerous, feels threatening. So the mind starts to disconnect. And so we did some things to help him reconnect in a more safe way to the present moment. And he found that really helpful. And he recognized I am disconnecting when I meditate. I am starting to dissociate. And some of the things he found really helpful. So we're going to get into that. So if you don't feel like you want to be still for a long period of time, if it really feels painful or like something's a bit off, don't force it. Just expand your definition of meditation. So here are these 5 ideas. The first one is called orienting. This is basically orienting to your environment. And the way I do it is cycling through the senses. So I won't go through all of these one by one, but you can do this first one with me because it's quite simple and quite easy. You first take your attention to sight. So I'm looking at a plant behind the camera now. So I have more plants that way, of course. And you want to just really take in the object, like the color, the shape, the texture, the way the light falls on it, the shadow. Like you're a painter, you're about to paint it, and so you really want to look at what's there. You're not thinking about it. Then if you want, you can find something else. Just looking at the shape, the shadows. And this is a portal to the present moment, but not through the body. So we're still getting the benefits of learning to be present, but without going too near where the intensity is. So you might look at that. Then take your attention to sound. So you can listen to the sound of my voice now coming out of your device. I can hear the sounds of the seagulls outside. You can probably hear them too. Just the hum of the background. Again, this is another gateway to presence, to being here right now, which is what meditation is all about. If you're present, you're meditating. End of. So that's important to remember. Then take it slightly nearer the body. You could take it to touch, for example. Maybe I'm just touching the little desk I have in front of me. Just touching something with your hands. Again, just noticing the sensations of that. Then go to taste. You can maybe take a sip of a drink if you've got one. Or just feel your tongue around your mouth. Again, another just gateway to being here. Then start to find a stable or neutral, even possibly slightly pleasant feeling aspect of your body. I'm feeling like the chair beneath me against the lower back. It feels quite nice. So just really getting present with those sensations, really getting curious about what's here. And even going through that, I now feel more present than I was before. Like there's an extra edge. And then you can go into just meditating. And if things start to feel a little bit intense, you can again just come back to orienting. The second idea is movement. So you don't have to stay super still like a Buddha, right? Walking meditation can be really potent. You can just pace up and down your room slowly, feeling your feet on the ground. or whatever practice you're doing, but in a kind of a slow movement, that takes a lot of pressure off the body and the intensity of just sitting there. Also, a lot of people struggle with the posture. Posture doesn't matter. If you've got 50% of your attention trying to hold a lotus pose, meditating is going to be difficult. But movement can be used even if you're in sitting meditation, if you're on a chair or sort of cross-legged, just like gentle swaying can be really nice. Again, it kind of takes the intensity out of the sense of the body, and it adds a bit of a soothing edge to it, so it helps to feel much safer. So I'd recommend swaying, or you can kind of rock gently back and forth. And obviously you don't have to rock back and forth for like half an hour if you're doing that, but just a little bit every now and again can just take the edge off the intensity of that, just, trying to just focus. Again, it can be too much. The third one will be touch. So this can be really powerful, especially if you hold yourself in certain ways, like the hand on the heart and the belly is a classic. It not only helps the body feel safer and more supported, but gives you something to do with the mind. You can concentrate on the sensations, the feelings and the sensations. Just feeling the pressure and the warmth. You can combine it with a bit of movement if you want to rock a little bit while you're doing this, and you can feel the feelings of the rocking and the touch. And again, noticing how this is a completely different experience. Even with these subtle little changes, this is a completely different experience to trying to rigidly be as still as possible, if that's not appropriate. Other touch, some people find it nice with the sort of hands on the shoulders. If you notice yourself starting to feel a bit disconnected, actually this hold here on the back of the neck and the forehead can actually down-regulate the nervous system. It's actually a really effective way of regulating yourself. Now, this one can be hard to hold the hands up, so you could hold it for a minute or two. Notice how things start to feel calmer. You still start to feel a little bit more connected. And then you can take it down and meditate a little bit more. The fourth approach would be pendulation. This means going between different experiences. So you could go between your body and then the environment. So you could have your hands on your body and you're feeling that. Then after a few minutes, you could orient to the environment again. You're just meditating by looking out the window or listening to the sounds around you. And then you swap back over, and there's that movement back and forth. Or between movement and stillness. So rather than the body and the environment, you go between movement and stillness. So you could do some walking meditation for a few minutes, and then you could sit down and meditate for a few minutes, then walking again, or just swaying for a little bit. It can be 10 seconds, 20 seconds, then having a few minutes of stillness, then bringing a little sway again. Again, this kind of breaks up the intensity of the heaviness that it feels, of just the bluntness of just sitting in your body. A last approach is a vagus nerve exercise that I quite like. I call it the owl neck exercise, where you just look to one side slowly, and then you just look your eyes a little bit further and hold it for like 8 to 10 seconds. Then you start to come back over again. You look to the other side, then move your eyes a little bit further, hold just for another few seconds. And then you go back and forth in that manner, maybe 3 times. Again, that helps that the vagus nerve goes down your spine, and that movement helps to activate it. And it can be really nice just to take the edge off, help the nervous system feel a bit safer. And of course, the longest term solution, because these are all quite short term, in the moment. Over the longer term, it's really helpful to learn to get in touch with those deeper emotional wounds, actually start to process them. That's what starts to really open your experience to the juice of meditation, because I remember when I first started meditating, everything felt so numb and closed and cold, and it was really painful to sit with that. And as I processed my emotions more and more, worked through the trauma, that the body gets less tense, it starts to open up, and that's when presence and awareness starts to open up. And so that's the real long-term trick. It's not really a trick because it involves quite a lot of work, but you know what I mean. And then meditation becomes a completely different experience. It becomes much juicier and sweeter. Becomes actually pleasant, not something you have to force. So get in touch if you have questions about that. Please, comment down below. And you can check out my other videos for how to do that kind of work. How to create safety in your body, how to feel your feelings. Just type in those keywords into my channel and you can find it all. See you later. Bye.